So I just put together this server room, and right now it's a little messy and it still looks like, you know, where the storage and stuff is going. But over here, underneath the mini split and the vent that I'm going to use to air out like toxic fumes such as the ABS and the ASA, I want to put some integrated bookshelves over here, or any type of shelves. But my dreams were a little cut short at first because I ended up making this tool, which is a shelf pin jig, and I printed it out. I ordered the bearings, and when the bearings came in, I realized that this was not dimensionally accurate. These holes were too small, but not by much, just slightly. And so that led me on the quest to calibrate my printer to get it dimensionally accurate so I can make some shelves in here and start clearing up my house. So here's the representation of my problem with the design. So this is a 625 double Z bearing. When I go to put it in place, it doesn't fit. Slightly too small. I could maybe press fit it in there, but I believe that's going to crack the plastic. And so I think a better choice would be to just calibrate the printer to get some more accurate prints. So this is how I'm going to start calibrating the printer. So this square right here has an inside diameter of 25 millimeters. Now this ring right here has an outside diameter of 25 millimeters. So theoretically this ring should fit in this one, and this ring of 20 millimeters should fit in this one, and this 15 millimeters should fit inside here, and this 10 should fit inside that one. However, the first print I did to see where I was at, that was not the case. So this is basically what I'm looking at right here. So here's this one. This is my control, the very first one I printed, and you can see that nothing wants to fit in there. I mean, I could probably force it, but I'm never going to get it out again. And so it just isn't going to work. It's not going to do it. And so I'm going to show you how I did this to get it to work in PrusaSlicer using the XY compensation option. So I created this Excel spreadsheet, which I think was pretty helpful. The original, they didn't call for it to take like 3 measurements. What I thought it would be a little bit more, I guess, dimensionally accurate if I took 3 measurements for each one instead of just relying on the singular measurement, then finding the average of that and then getting the difference. So given the original, we'll use the control. I'm going to take the first measurement. I got 24.42, 24.49, 24.45. So that's my average measurement, and the difference is 0.55 for that one. Okay. Now we're going to take this one, and we're looking at 19.52, 19.44. It's kind of weird. It's quite a bit different than this one. And looks like 19.52 again. 14.55. 14.66. 14.63. We're almost there. I'm going to grab this one. It'll be the 10. So we got 9.39, 9.53, 9.25. All right, let's see. 9.51. Okay. So because we're working with the circle, one thing that I did notice, and I'll show you here on camera in just a second. So I did a whole bunch of prints on this to get it dialed in because, you know, I haven't done this before on the calibration in Prusa. There wasn't a lot of information on it. But I thought, okay, well, the number I got on the previous one was 0.505. And that was only taking one measurement and averaging them out. And when I entered that into the XY compensation, it actually decreased the inside diameter of the hole. I mean, you can see how chunky that is. So that obviously wasn't going to work for me. So then I found out that you want to put a negative number in there to decrease it. And so I ended up putting a negative 5.505, and it gave me this. As you can see, the inside diameter of the hole much larger. You can even see the outer edges are much thinner on the square. And this obviously wasn't going to work either. But even though it didn't say it was for a hole, for the XY compensation, it just said XY compensation, I thought, well, maybe I need to be thinking in terms of radius. So I ended up dividing this number in half. And what I ended up getting once I printed everything out was this. I don't know if you can, the lighting's good enough. There you go. You can see it. Everything fit. And that was kind of nice. You just pop it out if it needs to pop out. And so that's one thing I want you to be aware of with the XY compensation in Prusa. You gotta treat it as a radius, and in this case a negative number. So that's that. So inside the PrusaSlicer I have these all set up, but where I go to fix this, I go right in here and I type in XY size compensation, and here we go. This is exactly, so it's going to be in print settings, advanced, and right down here. So then I just put this minus 0.251 in there. Now the new number I got was 0.49, and then divide that in half and I got 0.245. I could definitely, you know, maybe put that number in there, see how it goes. It might actually tighten up the hole a little bit. I'm probably going to go ahead and do that and see how it works out. But as of right now, I think my jig is going to work just fine, and I'll show you what that looks like right now. So here's my new jig. As you can see, the bearing fits. I can tell you right now, it's still a little loose because I hit it, it falls out. It's not exactly as tight as I would like it. However, one thought I had was now that I have this one that I printed out, I could easily pull all the rings out of there, take new measurements off of it, put it into the spreadsheet, and then take the new number and print out a new whole calibration test. And then that should give me even more of an accurate reading the second time through. And that's kind of where I'm going with it right now. I just don't want to go through any more filament for a jig that may or may not work. So I personally am probably just going to use a dab of Gorilla Glue on here just to hold these in place. But I will, for future, take another measurement off of this and then take the averages and take the new information and put it into PrusaSlicer to get an even more refined whole dimension. And that's where I'm kind of going with it. I hope this helps everybody. As usual, I'm going to put my Klipper config, my Prusa config, and the printer configs that I'm using, and also the Excel spreadsheet that I created to do this. In the description. I hope to hear from everyone in the comments. Have a wonderful day, night, week, evening, and happy printing, everyone, and take care.